UMNO-led Barisan Nasional won two-thirds majority in Saturday's Johor state election, claiming 40 out of 56 seats. The next step would be for the party's leadership to choose a Menteri Besar. Joining us tonight is political analyst from UITM, Mujibu Abdul Muis. Thank you for joining us today, Mujibu. Now, earlier today, UMNO top leadership had an audience at the Johor Palace to discuss MB candidates. Now, what can you tell us about the candidates that are in the running?
Well, thank you, Mia, and have a very good night tonight. Of course, we have heard there are three names that have been forwarded by the UMNO leadership of Johor. But before this, we already know that in their campaign, most of the time they have stood up that Hasni, the Benut representative, will be the Chief Minister or Menteri Besar of Johor. But somehow we know the development after 48 hours, there is no decision yet made, and there is a meeting with the monarch, the Sultan of Johor, to decide. And suddenly we have heard that Datuk Sri Hasni have issued a press statement saying that he ruled out himself to be the new Menteri Besar and support any decision, whoever named to be the Menteri Besar, but somehow he strongly suggests that the party should put young people to lead the new government. So in the same time, we also heard that the Rengit representative, Dato' Fuad Zarkashi, is also being named, but somehow the latest development says he ruled out himself to be the Menteri Besar, and somehow he support Datuk Sri Hasni to be one. And of course, the most rumors that we heard is Machap representative, Dato' On Hafiz Ghazi. So for the time being, we simply say that it is still undecided, but these two have been strongly associated to be the Menteri Besar. And of course, when you talk about Johor as a monarch rule there, these two will need to go through the consent of the monarch. But somehow, if we consider the statement from Datuk Sri Hasni as well as the consent of the monarch, On Hafiz will fit the bill because he is still young at 43 years old, highly educated, and of course he is coming from the great Johor political dynasty, which is known to have a good attachment with the monarchy. So I believe maybe the strong candidacy for this Menteri Besar maybe On Hafiz, but somehow we need to wait until the end and let us see who is going to emerge as the Menteri Besar after this.
Yes, speaking on Hafiz, we've just heard from incumbent MB Datuk Sri Hasni Mohamad saying that young blood is needed, as you mentioned just now. What does this actually tell you? What kind of leadership does Johor need at this point?
Well, I believe there is no such thing as a small majority to be excused in forming a very good and capable government in Johor. So when Datuk Sri Hasni says he wants a young Menteri Besar, this particularly will refer to the ideas that UMNO need a very strong, capable and hardworking government in which in youngsters this might be able to come out with a plenty and quick economic solution, because I believe the priority of this government, whether it is led by a young Menteri Besar or not so young Menteri Besar, the priority is, of course, the economic well-being, because this is the most sought-after issues by all the voters in Johor. And of course, number two is the idea of having UMNO, portraying UMNO as a vibrant and responsive party, especially to the new political approaches. The call for these new political approaches, equal treatment to opposition, wider commitment to the new political demand in terms of political and institutional reform, and of course the call from the youngster to have more open and transparent administration, and in which all the leaders maintain their highest integrity and government is the trustworthy one. So all of these things will be suitable enough to be associated with this kind of young Menteri Besar. So I believe if somebody is young, will be chosen as a Menteri Besar. So these criteria need not only to be possessed but need to be presented to
All
the
right,
Johor
thank you for
voters.
your insights, Mujibu.